So today's ceremony marks the close of our academic journey here at UC Davis. But college is much more than just an academic journey. It's an experience that educates us in all aspects of life. Mark Twain famously said, "I have never let my schooling interfere with my education." Today is certainly a day for us to reflect on our schooling and on our academic success. But in the spirit of Mr. Twain, I'd like to take some time to discuss some of the lessons that I've learned outside the classroom. Lessons that I believe my classmates will be able to relate to. So the first lesson is one in the nutritional sciences, although this particular lesson is not actually taught in lecture halls. And that is that homework is always an acceptable substitute for a meal. I honestly don't think I can count the number of times that I've heard over the last 4 years, "Dinner? No, that's all right, I've got homework instead." Now, although the grandmas in the audience are certainly shaking their heads at such an implication, this lesson is a good one to learn. It's taught me that it's not easy to perform well, and that sacrifices must be made. Sometimes those sacrifices result in less time to spend with our friends, and sometimes they result in hypoglycemia. But whatever they are, they're a solid reminder that hard work doesn't come easy, and that reaching our goals will require some discomfort along the way. Now, speaking of meals, the second lesson is one in the culinary arts, or lack thereof. And that is that you can put anything, into a burrito. See, when I first came to college, I had never even considered putting anything other than the traditional burrito fixings into a tortilla. However, after I had to start shopping for myself, I had to face the reality that food in the fridge only lasts a finite amount of time in its edible form before it transforms into its biohazard form. So because of that, I began to experiment with what I like to call omni burritos, which are basically just tortillas with anything and everything that's about to go bad all stuffed inside. Hot dogs, macaroni and cheese, bread, nothing's really off limits. So once again, I'm certain that the grandmas in the audience are shaking their heads. But the omni burrito taught me that it's important to exhaust your resources, even if your only resources are ketchup and leftover pasta. If an opportunity is available to you, don't waste it. Because if you don't take it while you can, then you may decide later that you want it. But by then, it'll smell funny and be covered in blue fuzz. And grandmas, I think we can find some common ground on this one. Don't eat it if it's covered in blue fuzz. Now, the third lesson is quite simply, and I'm sure you've all discovered this for yourself, that sleep is overrated. The volume of work you can do if you don't sleep is incredible. I mean, it really is unbelievable how much more you can do with 8 more hours in your day. So now allow me to explain why this is a valuable lesson. Pulling an all-nighter invariably disrupts your routine and sort of screws up your sleep schedule. But as long as your daytime grogginess doesn't result in your running a stop sign on your bike on the way to class, because that's like a $400 fine. I may or may not be speaking from experience here. An inversion of your routine can be healthy. There's something about watching the sun slowly come up over the top of your laptop as you sit half asleep in the early morning solitude that reminds you that the world is not static and it won't cater to your needs. It doesn't always fit from 9 to 5 each day. It always moves on. And lastly, I wanted to put a lesson in here about the dangers of procrastination. But I actually didn't start writing the speech until midnight last night, so I didn't get time. So I know all my classmates have learned different yet equally valuable lessons of their own during our time at UC Davis. We've all received an excellent formal education from this remarkable institution, and I certainly don't wish to downplay that. The time we've spent in the classroom has given us the skills we need to pursue our individual dreams. But I do wish to remind my classmates and those of you in attendance today that learning from your life experiences is just as important as learning from your textbooks. Our classes may end today, but that doesn't mean that we can stop learning. If there's one most important lesson of all the lessons I've learned during my time as an undergrad at UC Davis, it's that the classroom extends beyond campus, beyond city limits, and past the horizon, and that class is always in session. Thank you.